Wandering Creek friends, this is Lisa. I thought I'd give you a tour of my beer garden today. It's in the background there. I tried to do this video yesterday. It's been quite smoggy out due to the fires from Canada. So come on along with me and let's take a tour of my beer garden that holds 150 dahlias. In this garden, which is called my beer garden, it holds 152 dahlia tubers and plants at the moment. I have a row of annuals that I grew from seed. Along the front and along the back, I have more annuals that I grew from seed. And then to the right, you can see I have a painted hive. My husband and I manage honeybee hives, and I do a little painting of them to make them decorative. In the back of this garden, up on the trellises, are hops for my husband's beer making. You can see the trellis off on the left side. There was a variety called Zeus that was growing just fine this spring and then proceeded to die. So who knows why. So let's take a look at this garden. We'll come up closer to it. Along this first row, I have gladioles that I've been overwintering the bulbs for probably 4 or 5 years now. And I just dig them up in the fall, bring them into one of my buildings that does not freeze, and then they just sit there all winter. Also in this garden, I have snapdragons. They didn't grow as tall as I was expecting them to be, and therefore they're tucked in. The zinnias grew beautifully. I must have bought 3 or 4 different varieties of zinnias. So we'll get up closer and we'll take a look at those. I also have straw flowers. They grew much taller than I expected them to be, and I don't think I will grow them next year. I expected them to be short and bushy, even though I'm sure that the package, or when I bought them, they said they were going to be like 30 to 40 inches tall. I just, for some reason, assumed they were similar to what I had in the past, where I bought some straw flowers from the garden center, and they were short, so they must have just been a different variety. And then along the front is ageratum. Yeah, that's how you say it, something like that. And just to give the nice blue colors. So let's take an up close look. Now you're going to see hanging beer bottles in this garden because this is my beer garden. And therefore it is beer themed. So here's the argyranum. Isn't that pretty? Goes all the way along the front there. I think next year I am going to just put it straight ageratum along the front. This year I did every other one with the straw flowers. Just not that impressed with the straw flowers. They look okay. But look at those zinnias. Aren't they beautiful? Wow. Just different colors. I'm sure what I bought was, I bought a giant mix from Johnny's. Sorry, I have to bend over and pick up a piece of paper I dropped. But look at the size of them. Isn't that beautiful? Zoom out a little bit. Let's walk along here. Some orange ones. Yesterday, I had another orange one. It was huge. These are like half the size, but that's fine. Oh, here's that very large orange one down here. Look at that, the size of my palm, bigger than that. Hot pink. More orange. This simple rose one. I say simple, but it's gorgeous. I had a really dusty rose one down in here earlier, but I don't know where that one went. Probably just got old and I finally clipped it out of there. Look at the number of petals on this one here. Is that gorgeous? I'm gonna definitely let that one go to seed and see if I can collect and produce more zinnias like that next year, because here's another one from that same bush or plant. So very nice. On the straw flowers, I got two different colors. I got a packet of rose and I got a packet of yellow. And the yellow is very consistent, very yellow, just like that. Where the rose is anywhere from a dirty white, and they just look dirty, look at that, to a pretty rose color. The snapdragons are back in there. So I may attempt to collect seed. I tried last year with no success. Either I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to collecting seed of a snapdragon. So I did bring my trusty cheat sheet where I identified everything that I planted dahlia-wise in this garden. Yesterday when I did this video, I hadn't deadheaded yet, so it was looked a lot fuller when it came to the different flowers. It is so wet, so as I go through here, I will probably get a little wet. So let's go down. We'll start at row 1. We'll go down one side, we'll come back out, go down this other side of row 1, then we'll go to row 2. So this red dahlia here is seedlings, or I started some seeds last year, my dahlia seeds, and I got 2 different dahlias that grew. Well, they're not much different. They are both red. One is a little bit darker red and a little fuller with petals. You can see that first one, and the other one sort of looked like that with yellow striping on it. Well, I don't know if I'll keep that for next year or not. All right, let's see. This next one here, I'm going to be going in reversed order. Let me go around this pole so you can see that better. So it looks like this one is going to be, where am I on this piece of paper? There we go. I got that, then I got Fur-Elise. This has got to be Vixen. So I purchased this from Swan Island this year, I believe. Yeah, I bought my red ones from Swan Island. The next one through here looks like this is, what is that one? Let's look over here. I'm gonna have to look that, because that may be, wow. This is not easy doing it this way backwards. I think this one might be Robin Hood. I got one last year that was Robin Hood that really just didn't even look like it was supposed to. So who knows? There's Peach Fuzz. Look how pretty. On the other side, we'll come through. As you see with these, just on this row, there's my cheat sheet, I have the bottom of pots hung just to keep the deer out of my garden when the garden was young. In through here is Arabian Night, and next to Arabian Night is Melena Fleur. So we'll take a look at that. And nothing else growing here. One of the things I'm going to do different this year is, as you can see, my garden goes from west to east. And I'm sure that the hops are creating a nice shade screen on the east side. And so all my tubers on the east tend to be a lot smaller. So at least in these 2 rows, the row 3 and 4, they're a little bit smaller or shorter. So what I think I'm going to do next year is I'm either going to fertilize them with some nitrogen early in the spring, after they first come up and they're starting to grow, to help them to boost them up and give them more greenery. Or I may plant them maybe a whole week or two earlier than the other ones, and then plant the ones to the west. And I'm hoping that that would give them, you know, a boost to be a little bit bigger. Because then I think they get shaded out by the ones to the face on the west side. All right, that's Arabian Night. So let's come back down this row. Whoops, here's straw flowers. See the yellow one? Isn't that pretty? I mean, they're pretty much all the same yellow. All right, back here, there's one of my seedlings from last year. Vixen from this angle. Robin Hood. Plus, did I say this one is Peach Fuzz? Yep, this is Peach Fuzz. Isn't that pretty? These here that are growing, this is my Clearview Jonas. Beautiful plants. Beautiful, beautiful plants. They'll get nice and green, very healthy. They'll be gorgeous when they're in bloom. This one down here, let's see, next to the Arabian Night is Melena Fleur. It's the backside of Arabian Night. And then whatever else is down there. Still growing. Has not budded up yet. There's a robin up there in my hops. There's a good chance there's probably a nest somewhere within there. All right, this is row 2. Here is another Peach Fuzz. Let's see what else. This has got to be Neon Splendor. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Here, give you an idea how big. Very nice. You can see Peach Fuzz back there. She's much smaller. Neon Splendor is always gorgeous. I love that. So she looks like she's doing well. No powdery mildew. In years past, I've seen that she's the one that will get powdery mildew before anybody else. Or I think last year she was the only one that got powdery mildew. So I'm trying to watch that one because I don't want it to continue in that fashion and then give my other dahlias powdery mildew. That would not be good. All right, so I said this one is Neon Splendor. Here's Vixen. Not bad. They do have that yellow center. That's come over here. This is Robin Royal. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful. Down in here, I have Totally Tangerine. She's small. Here, let me go back to the purple one so you can see the size-wise. This one up here, look at how tall she is. This one here is, that one. I think this is supposed to be Wine-Eyed Jill. Beautiful this year. Last year she was not very nice. So she was almost threw away last year because she was not looking good. I'm on a somewhat main road. That's why you're hearing the cars go north or drive by. We used to be on a dirt road, and then once they paved it, everybody's like, yay, we can drive this road. So we get a lot of people. Look how pretty she is. Wow. Here, let's see size-wise. Maybe 3 inches. So that's Wine-Eyed Jill. Let's see what else I have. This one is, I think this is from the same plant. I gotta take a look at that. It is opening up. Oh, that's not too bad. I thought it was opening up with the center showing it. It really almost is. So these next, I have some Karma gold ones in here. I don't see them blooming yet. Oh, did you hear that little chirping? Or you might have seen it on the video. It was a hummingbird. Let's see. Oh, I see the Karma Gold. We're going to see that on the other side. I've got some more Clearview Jonas. And here's a Garden Wonder. Here's another one of my beer cans. Look at that. Isn't she pretty? She's short this year. Last year she was short. The year prior she was quite tall. She was at least 4 foot tall. So I don't know what was up there with that. Let's see. I think this is another Garden Wonder. We're going to go, we're still in row 2. Whoops. Look at that. That's my Karma Gold. So pretty. Here, size-wise. Let's see what else. There's the Robin Royal. Did I say this one was Vixen? Yep, that one's Vixen. And Peach Fuzz. Now we're going to come around to row 3. Row 3, I know that. This is Arabian Night. There we go. That's Arabian Night. And back there's Flip Flop. I think last year Flip Flop got like 7 feet tall or something crazy. So she's even short here. She's like 4 foot. Crazy. This here is Holly Hill Black Beauty. She is not as big as I thought she was going to be. That red and white one there is Checkers. She is pretty, like that. Here is Beautiful. See how beautiful it is? Gorgeous. That one there is, I think that's Honeymoon. Yep, that one's Honeymoon. Oops, sorry, that's Honeymoon. When we go over on the other side, we'll see that better. Let's see what's coming in here. I got Marn. Oh, nice. Marn is growing and looks like it's budding up. I believe this next one in the back, I might be Tahiti Sunrise. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that one is. And more Beautiful. Let's come around here. Also in my beer garden is I have these lights that you put in bottles. So I bought I think I have 9 of them. Only 3 of, well, I've hung out 5 of them, and so far all of them worked, except all of a sudden 2 of them have stopped working. So wonderful. Good old quality from Amazon in China. But it is what it is. There's Beautiful. Let's go back. I said this one was, we're in row 2, aren't we? I got Beautiful there. Then I've got Diva. I have an Emery Paul in here somewhere. Oh no, not too sure where Emery Paul is. Then Joey Linda. And Tahiti Sunrise. I'm pretty sure that's got to be Tahiti Sunrise. This is the Honeymoon. Very nice stiff stems. And I do not disbud. That's why she's quite low in the plant, and she's got other buds further up. Another beautiful, or another, that's just beautiful. Here's checkers. Arabian Night. Yeah, let's see, what is over here next to Arabian Night? Did I say that one? Oh, that was Flip Flop. Flip Flop. So we're gonna come around here. All right, let's see what we have over here. This is row 1. This tall one here gets crazy. Last year gets crazy, got like 7 feet tall. I mean, well, maybe it was over, it might have been 7 at the end, but it was so tall that you couldn't even see the flowers. So I think I'm gonna need to tie that up to the post. Should have done that before. That's fine. This one here is Sharky. Look at that, pretty. My husband will love that. He loves the ones that are variegated with white. This is River's Splash. So yes, I need to gets crazy in its spot so it doesn't take over. Let's see this one here. I have Pooh over there that not in bloom at the moment. This is Wildcat. Isn't she pretty? I think this is another Checkers. Oh, this actually might be, this is Raspberry Royale. Not in bloom yet. There is, what the heck? There is a Cafe au lait in here. I think it's this one. These here are Chewy. I love Chewy. Look at that. Not a huge flower, and I love how the petals of the flower twist a little bit. This is, I think this is, oh, Creamy? Creamy? I think I was expecting her to be more yellow. And then after I bought her, I was reading and looking at more pictures and realized she was not very yellow. But that's fine. This is Cornell. So in the process of opening. Let's see, I got an Ace Somerset that's starting to bloom there. This is Honeymoon. And next to Honeymoon is our Black Narcissus. This is Nettie. Very interesting how Nettie from Swan Island looks exactly almost the same. Almost, not quite. It's when we go the other direction down on the other side of this row, we'll do an up close of Nettie and Creamy. They're very similar. Nettie's actually a little bit more yellow and has larger petals. So I got Nettie as one of my free tubers from Swan Island. This here is, I believe, is Linda's Baby. Yeah, it's Linda's Baby. You know, it's weird because last year Linda's Baby was teeny and very, very pink. So this might actually be Joey Winnie. I have a feeling that that's Joey Winnie instead. Isn't she pretty? This here is a poof. They get a little. I have these all, well, my sheet has them all numbered. So I'm trying to think, could this one be, that one looks over there to be, that one's Chewy. This has got to be maybe Ace Somerset or Gabrielle Marie. No way, Gabrielle Marie is a peach colored one. So that might be Ace Somerset. I'll have to, when it blooms, we'll see what it looks like. Here is, on this side is Chewy. Another, I think this is Chewy. And if that one isn't, this one here is Joey Winnie. Isn't that pretty? Here. Very stiff bloom, nice straight stems. Definitely a keeper. I bet that always looks great in a vase. So very nice. Case we'll come back on this side, but before we do that, this last row here are plants that I grew from seed. I have giant marigolds in yellow and orange, and then I grew some amaranth. This is Love's Lies Bleeding. You can see there's some weird caterpillar on there eating it. Not very impressive. I'm just not impressed with that one, but I do love the red spire. So next year, my plan is I'm going to collect seed this fall from these plants, and then next year I'm going to put a whole row of this red spire along the back here, and then have my giant marigolds in the front. Love them. They look cool. So here we go. We've got our Joey Winnie. Next to it is the Chewy, and you can see the difference. They're very similar coloring with that coral color and the purple. So you can see that here, coral color and purple. But the Joey Winnie the petals are a lot tighter. There's just a lot more of them. I'll come back to look at this. This is the one that we said is, you know what, that's interesting, because if this is Joey Winnie and that one's Joey Winnie, they're slightly different colors, and that could happen. I mean, they're tubers that I saved from last year, but I don't think so. When I look at that, my list says that should be Linda's Baby. I just know that last year, you know what, I'm going to take that back. This is definitely Linda's Baby. There was another one I had last year that had these really small pink ones. Pink blooms. I mean, just a lot of them. Was really pretty, but I don't believe I got a decent tuber from them, or they didn't even overwinter well. So back here, oh, I probably didn't tell you about that, is Black Narcissus. Very pretty. It's a cactus style dahlia. There's the honeymoon. And then let's take a look at the difference between Nettie and Creamy. We'll wait for this, or we'll do this. We'll wait for this car to go by. All right, let's start with Nettie. And then we'll go to Creamy. So you can see Creamy just has a lot more petals and is a little bit lighter in color. Can't wait for this other one here to bloom. This has gotta be, it is crazy then on the way some of these are set up. Let's see if that is Nettie, and Linda's Baby is in here somewhere. It's got to be down in here. Then it goes from Linda's Baby, where is that Nettie, to Linda's Baby to Gabrielle Marie. Yikes. Well, it doesn't matter. We'll see what this one is when it blooms. This has got to be somewhere near 20. It's got to be near 20. Cornell. That does not look like Cornell. There's Creamy there. Cornell. Ace Somerset. That's got to be what this one is. Ace Somerset. Hey, gotta wait sometimes until they bloom before you know what something is. That's Wildcat again. And this is my River Splash. I need to tie that up. I'm gonna do that. Go get my string. It might still be over there. Marigolds again. That's beautiful. One thing I found out about marigolds is part of their stem, especially up near the flower, is hollow. Maybe I should have known that, but whatever. And so when you put it in a bouquet, you have to be careful with it because it wants to snap and break off, or it just bends. Isn't this red spire amaranth pretty? I tried to start some more, the ones that didn't grow initially, but they just get too shaded out and just won't grow. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed my tour of my Biergarten garden. And, you know, keep following me because each week I'll try to get out here to redo this tour so you can see all of the dahlias in bloom, because each week there will be more and more, because a dahlia is your late summer, fall flower. They will bloom until a hard frost. So I hope everybody has a great day. And if you liked my tour, please follow, subscribe, like, drop me a comment, all those things. I hope you are having a great day, and we'll see you again in our next tour. Bye, friends.